Alright, good morning. I'm going to do this while I can still talk. Today I'm replacing the EGR pipe. I ordered it on eBay. It came early. This is it yesterday. And then I went down to O'Reilly's. Oh, I got the EGR pipe for $79. Just about everybody has it for the exact same price. Then I went down to O'Reilly's and I picked up the two gaskets. This gasket is for the intake manifold side. This gasket is the one that's for the exhaust manifold side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cover here off, and I'm going to take this off. Then I'm going to remove this wire, disconnect the EGR, pull these two bolts out. I'm going to remove the bolt that's right here that holds the bracket. Then I'm going to remove two bolts there, and then the two bolts down here on this pipe. So let me get to work on that. Alright, I've disconnected the air intake manifold. As you can see, the throttle body is immaculate. I'm cleaning it. And you can see my temporary repair. And it's worked awesomely. My truck's running perfectly. But that is temporary. So here we go. This part's coming off next. Alright, the bolts that hold this on are 10 millimeters. And you should be able to just lift it straight up. Alright, so this is the part that's going to come off. Alright, I've loosened that bolt. I guess there's only one. I guess the other one's a clip. That I can tell for now. And I've taken off those two down there. As you can see, the pipe's off. Now this one here is a 17, and I'm going to have to use an open end wrench just because of the pipe. It'll hit. So this one here is a 17 millimeter, and those other ones were 10 millimeters. So let me go ahead and remove that. So you can see I've taken it off. That's my temporary repair, and I was going to cut it off. Better poke it there. I was going to cut that off, but it's actually bonded to the metal pipe. I just took the clamps off and I can't get that metal tape off, so it worked. It did its job for a temporary fix. Okay, as you can see, that's where it goes into the intake manifold. And where are we? There's where it goes into the exhaust manifold. Yeah, I'm gonna rebolt the new one on as soon as I find that gasket that was for the EGR that I dropped. So give me a minute and I'll put that part on. Alright, so I cleaned that really well. At first I used just some carburetor cleaner on it, but since it's plastic, I finished cleaning it with some mass airflow sensor, just so there's no residue, and because it is a plastic part. Let me get a little oil on this O-ring. So it is an O-ring you put in here. Yeah. You need to put a little bit of oil around it, and then put the gasket on, and we'll be good. Alright, let's see if we can make it focused in. That I cleaned up, I scraped off any big chunks, and then I used some carb cleaner on it and paper towel, clean it up. Let the carb cleaner soak for a minute, and then cleaned it up. This is the old gasket that was on there. It's in good shape, but we're still going to replace it. So these are the two. There's the brand new one on the top, and on the bottom is the used one. All right, well, I found out why they don't put a gasket on this part right here. This is the top gasket that O'Reilly says you're supposed to have. Turns out you don't need it. So $3 down the tube. You can see they're the same size hole. But it don't fit. When I took off the original, it doesn't have a gasket. So I'm assuming that means you only need the one gasket. I didn't have a leak there, so it has to be. All right, I put that in there, and I have a philosophy: it's better to have extra parts than not to have the part. So that gasket will never go to waste, because if I ever have to replace something, I have another temporary gasket. So yeah, I put that one in. The lower one hasn't gone in there, but this is flexible pipe somewhat, so I'll be able to bend it into shape. Just showing I got that one in. It doesn't line up with the holes, but it will bend. So I will bend that a little bit and put it into place, and then I will maneuver that end of the pipe that's sitting down there and put that into that hole. So let me do that. All right, I got that bolt on, stuffed to the bottom one. I ended up having to take the top one off because I had to bend the pipe down a little bit so I could get the bolts on. So next I'll do the bottom, and then finally I'll do the top again. All right, that's a lot of work. Got that one on. Bottom one was a little bitch, as you know. Always bottom unseen is hard. And we got that one back on. So as you can see, the pipe is in front of the bolt. So I had to put the bolt on first. So let me put the EGR back on, and she should be ready to go shortly. So on this, okay, I got a bolt on. I noticed an extra bolt hole. And when we're looking at the original, it doesn't have a bolt hole there. It's just something different, but don't worry about it. That extra hole. It doesn't do anything, because they went on the new one a solid plate all the way across, versus this one is just formed out for the part. So everything's nice and tight like it's supposed to be, and we'll just put this back in. Clips right into place. So that's the EGR has been replaced. All we do now is put the intake manifold pipe back on, and then the cover, and she'll be ready to go. All right, as you can see, it's all back together. Oops, I got one more thing to do. Hang on a second. Okay, now it's done. I had to put this on. I forgot to pick it up yesterday, the new one. So next time I go in town, I'll pick up another one of those. That's what the dealership broke. As you can see, it's all nice and back together, and we are ready to rock and roll again. So that's how you replace an EGR. Anybody can do it. All you need is a 1/4 inch nut driver or something. That's to take off this and the clamps, and this clamp and that clamp. I use my 11-in-1 for that. And then a number 10 socket with a short extension, preferably a swivel, makes the life a little easier, and a number 17 open-in wrench. In about half an hour, 45 minutes of your time, you should be able to do it. If I can do it, anybody can do it. I have, as you probably know by now, cancer. It's moved from my liver to my brain. So I can do it. Anybody can. All right. Y'all have a nice day now, you hear?